Hello and welcome to this video about refactoring. We'll be looking into a kata called the Untangled Conditionals kata. It's made by Tom Oram, and it's a pretty interesting kata because it's quite different from other ones I've seen. So I've been playing a little bit with this kata, and I'll take you through the thought process that struck me when doing this. So here's the code. It's this long method. It's something about a pipeline. We run tests, and then if the test passed, then we do a deploy. And then at the end, here we notify of failure or success. So it's pretty straightforward. Test, deploy, and then send an email or not. However, it's, as we can see, that the code is absolutely horrible. Loads of if statements. It's pretty nasty. So let's see what we can do about this, if we can make some sense out of this code. So the first thing that strikes me, that struck me, is this here. We can see a lot of similarity in this if-else statement. Basically, we could replace this by, I don't know, sending a p email send of a string which is calculated here. So if we calculate some kind of string in the statements above, then we can move the emailer down there, right? So let's do that. Let's do right, message, or no, end result equals, we'll have to do that. So this is in Go, and I don't know if many of you know Go. I didn't a few days ago, but Go code is pretty similar to other languages, so let's it'll be fine. End result equals deployment failed, and end result equals tests fail. Yeah, cool. So this is a problem here, and then we will just move this here and replace with end result. Let's remove that and that, and the tests pass. That's cool. That's cool, but it doesn't really simplify our if statement, does it? However, we can notice that we have the same thing here, and we have this thing, it's the same thing here, and it is basically the end result. So and we calculate this from stuff that we know above. So this is probably that the booleans here are not the greatest vehicle for calculating the end result. They lack the information necessary to unduplicate it. I mean, we could, I don't know if I'm clear here, but let's say we move this calculated end result up here, and up here, and up here. Then we won't need this if statement, right? Let me show you what I mean. So I'll put this one here. I'll put this one right here, and this one right here, and then we'll have to declare this variable, of course, all at the top there, and it works. And we have this whole thing which is just an empty stuff. So we have a problem here. This is unused variable, so it doesn't compile. Remove that. It removed it from these places also. So we really made the code a lot shorter, right? And we just gained this huge if statement. It just disappeared because we don't use the booleans as vehicles anymore for the end result. We use a string which contains more information, and then we don't need this if else statement here because we already have those up here. Okay, so that's a lot better. Now we can remove this, of course. So what else can we do? One thing I really want to do is I'd really like to extract the test stage here and the deploy stage. Only problem, they're not independent. They depend on each other. I guess this one can be extracted quite easily. So let's do that. So that run deploy stage. Okay. And we don't have to pass the end result in here because we calculated it in every case. So let's just return this. And then we can move that, remove that. That's a lot better. And I guess we could do quite the same here. Only problem, this actually produces two values, right? End result and test pass. Let's give this a try. Take all that and extract a method. Just run test stage. Oh. Okay, and it produced the test pass and end result. That's nice. That's nice. What can we do here? I think what we could do here is we could do return statements. That might be better. So rather to return true, and we return an empty string because this is what we actually have here. So this is basically the end result, and we don't have an end result here. And we can return nil because Go won't let us do that. So I'm gonna take that one and I'm gonna put that here too. However, here it is quite different. Here it is return a false and tests failed. And then we can remove this one and we can remove these two. Nice. Very nice. Now this has double indentation. We could try and do an invert. I like to have the if statements like not only one level of indentation if I can. And that does it. That definitely does it also because the first two true cases, they come first. So that's brilliant. Okay. I think that might be it. Yeah, definitely easier to read and reason about. Yeah, so there are a few things that I'm not so happy about. I don't like this if statement, and we can actually remove that. Another thing that I'm not very happy with is this is returns like did this stage succeed, and a possibly end result. I mean, the end result could end up being empty. Like in a normal CI pipeline, we would have every stage I don't know, execute. As soon as one stage fails, we break and jump to the end, and we kind of always have a end result. We have an end result if it breaks or if we come to the end. I would rather see like a for loop or like a loop or some kind of thing. There's the design pattern called chain of command also, which might suit here. And we might want to have configurable pipelines. Yeah, so that's a possibility, but as the code is, it doesn't really need this. You know, Yagni, you ain't gonna need it. Maybe we won't need it, and we can refactor later. So let's do maybe another session on that, where I'll try that refactoring and just leave it at that right now, because the code is easy to understand, so we can easily refactor it later on. We have all the tests, and there's another possibility for that also, which is there's this concept from functional programming called either, and that might be a very good fit for this problem. I think so. So just a word about this. I think I'll do a small video about this part. How do we remove that? Well, actually, what's annoying here is we inject a configuration and we do something depending on the value of that configuration. What we could do is we could create an emailer who does this, which is basically already what the emailer does. So we could just move this piece of code here into the emailer, and then we could have a null emailer which just logs, and then instead of injecting the config, we just inject this new abstraction emailer which does this, and another instance of that interface which does that. It's called the null object pattern, and we'll do that in another video. Right. Well, thanks for watching. It's been fun refactoring. It's always great to do that, and click on subscribe to see more refactoring videos where I'll share my passion about refactoring and some useful tips that'll make you a refactoring ninja. Bye.